Hello, and welcome to Good Morning Thailand. Today we'll be talking about some of the news topics from across the country, starting with our first story today. But before that, I'm Jay.
And I'm Alex, yeah.
And our first story talks about Chinese tourists accused of killing kitten with luggage. Two foreign tourists, presumed to be Chinese, were condemned by Thai netizens for allegedly killing a stray kitten named Yen by kicking it and running it over with their luggage near Ratchathewi BTS station in Bangkok. A witness took the injured kitten to a clinic, but it died from its injuries. The incident sparked outrage online, with many sharing negative experiences with Chinese tourists. The Watchdog Thailand Foundation is gathering evidence to pursue legal action, but tracking the tourists is proving difficult. The foundation urges witnesses to come forward with more information. Kitten killers.
Insane to me. Like, some people just have that cruelty in them or something like that. And this is something, I don't know. In China, they still do those crazy, the dog meat festivals and things like that. It's just something, like, these are our companions, right? Like, cats and dogs are like, it's in our blood. It's generationally in our DNA to see these things as companions. So it just makes me think there's something wrong with these people.
Yeah.
If they can do something so horrible and cruel.
Yeah, I hope they're apprehended.
Indeed, yeah. Anyways, that's not the only talk of animal abuse going on in the Land of Smiles, unfortunately, as a Thai monk is now denying sexual abuse of dogs.
Okay.
Now, a monk in Nakhon Si Thammarat, southern Thailand, has denied allegations of bestiality and sexually abusing stray dogs, claiming it is an attempt by two other monks to ruin his reputation. The accusation surfaced when a temple worker, 78-year-old Dam, announced the misconduct over a loudspeaker, causing suspicion among locals. The accused monk, 42-year-old Dang, insists on his innocence and has filed a complaint against Dam and the two monks for defamation. One of the monks supporting the claim admitted he hadn't witnessed any abuse but heard it from Dam, who lacked evidence. Well, you see, this is why Thailand has such strong anti-defamation laws, man. Because obviously people in monkhood are a little more heavily scrutinized because of their moral position, their position in the religion here in Thailand. So these kinds of, like, we see monks behaving badly all the time. So it's very important that if they are not behaving badly, people are just talking some smack, that there is some recourse or some way to, defend yourself publicly in that kind of way. So in this way, to me, I don't know. There's no evidence, right? They haven't been able to provide any evidence of this. This is just hearsay, but
speculation.
Indeed, and that's not good enough to sully someone's reputation. I
What
think.
do they have to gain if he's no longer a monk? Maybe his position.
Maybe, and also maybe they just have personal vendetta. But anyways, this will be an ongoing court case. So either produce the evidence or now you're in trouble. So that's going to be a tough one.
Okay. Well, we're going to move on to our next story, which is regarding a Thai woman who's suing her Grab driver for drunk driving and harassment. Now, we've all taken a Grab taxi in Thailand, and we're not always happy with our Grab driver, as this 20-year-old Thai woman found out, called I, because she's suing Grab driver Ratapum for drinking alcohol while driving and sexually harassing her during a ride to her condo in Khon Kaen. I, who was drunk but conscious, reported that Ratapum drank from a bottle, invited her to join, and repeatedly tried to touch her despite her refusals. Upon arriving, Ratapum attempted to enter her condo, claiming he needed to use the bathroom. I recorded the incident and called her boyfriend, who confronted Ratapum until he left. Now, Kanai has filed a complaint with the police, provided the video as evidence.
That's scary, man. Like, alone in a taxi, especially as a woman in a man's world kind of thing. You never know how far it can go.
Most people take Grab taxis because it feels safer. Like, you've got the name of the person, you've got the tags of the car, and generally it is a much safer, perhaps a perception rather than reality, if you base it on this story.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. But, this is one of the reasons why it does feel safer, is because there is a line of accountability.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's not just some taxi driver who can speed away before you catch his license plate number. You have the app. There's a paper trail.
Yeah.
So that should be discouraging for any potentially misbehaving Grab drivers, because they're going to find out who you are, you're going to lose your job, and potentially worse.
Yeah.
So,
Like, I mean, and also, like, during speculation, a lot of people like commenting on the story would say that this is not like a major city in Thailand. It's not like Bangkok or Phuket or something. It's more in Khon Kaen, like northeast areas of Thailand. So possibly because it was in that location.
It's also a thing too with these ride sharing apps. Like, what kind of vetting do they do of their drivers? It's so easy. Exactly.
Like Bolt, for example, I've had multiple Bolt rides where I just wanted to tell the guy to stop and just park. I feel unsafe. We're gonna die.
Yeah.
You're an idiot. Just stop.
Yeah, it's happened. Watch out for the neck twitch.
Yeah.
There's a lot of yaba out there on the roads. But sad story. Anyways, hopefully she can find some justice.
Yeah.
On to our next story, which is another harrowing tale behind the wheel.
Yeah.
A viral video of a head-on crash between a taxi and a wrong-way driver has hit the internet. Now, a dashcam video of a head-on collision between a taxi and a wrong-way driver on July 28th has gone viral, sparking online debate and criticism. The footage shows a taxi driving normally when a speeding car in the wrong direction crashes into it head-on, causing severe damage. Netizens speculated about the wrong-way driver's motives, suggesting possible drunkenness or fleeing a scene. The video shared by the Facebook page Hiakob Rod has raised concerns about road safety and calls for stricter traffic law enforcement. Police are expected to investigate the incident, but no official statements have been made as of yet. That's scary. Just looking at this footage, it's a much bigger car careening down the road. There's a barrier, so it should not have been easy to get on to the other side of the road. He must have been attempting it and trying to do it. Man, it's scary to know who's behind some of the wheels of these cars out here. Taxi driver, I think, is okay. It's just severe damage to the taxi. But it could have been a lot worse, man, with that kind of a head-on collision. So
A lot of taxi stories today.
That's I got to check the trends, man. All this stuff is going viral. So especially our next one, if you want to get to it.
Well, talking about taxis, we've got another taxi story regarding a singer who exposes a taxi driver for watching pornography. Now, we've all taken a taxi in Thailand, and people have mixed feelings about taxis. However, singer Big D Gerard exposed a taxi driver watching pornography while stopped at a traffic light, sharing a video on TikTok. He questioned how parents would feel if their daughter had to ride in such a taxi. Posting under his real name, Brian Gerard, Ukrit Willie Broad Don Gabriel, Gerard expressed concern about societal norms and the safety of women in public transport. He emphasized the need for public awareness and urged public transport providers to maintain higher standards. The incident sparked discussions on the responsibilities of transport providers and the importance of a safe and respectful environment for passengers. How comfortable do you have to be watching pornography while at work during a passenger sitting in the back seat?
Indeed. And what about the irony about the singer who found him and exposed him? Big D.
Yeah.
No? Singer. By the way, I left his full name in there to see if I would trip you up, and you nailed it, by the way. Congratulations. But come on, taxi drivers. Leave it in the bathroom or at home in the bedroom. Good God. You're supposed to be driving me, not distracted. That's especially distracting,
This has happened before. Like, I think we've had some stories, but I see a lot of the taxi drivers playing poker. Have you ever had one of those
doing
taxi
the
guys?
slots things or whatever?
You're more of a
weird
motorbike
thing.
guy, aren't you?
I am. That requires a little bit more focus and attention. Now, I'll see them TikToking, but that's just a quick swipe. I don't know. I guess I can accept that, but it'd be a lot nicer if we had less distracted drivers on the road.
Yeah.
That's what I say. Well, anyways, I do have a happy one to end on for the Thai part of the news stories. Now, a British tourist was rescued after falling off of a cliff over here in the Land of Smiles. Tourist police rescued a British man, Callum David, on July 28th after he fell 5 meters from a viewpoint in Pai Canyon in Mai Hong Son. The 25-year-old suffered minor leg injuries and bruises, but was conscious and communicative. Rescuers took 2 hours to safely extract him and rush him to Pai Hospital, where he is now in stable condition. David was visiting the canyon with friends to watch the sunrise when the accident occurred. Now, Officer Kun Soit warned tourists to exercise caution during the rainy season. Pai Canyon, known for its unique landscape, is a popular tourist spot in northern Thailand, but comes with some risks. So be careful, everybody, in that area. That could feel good for you there. Nice to know when somebody falls off of a cliff. Good God. He's okay.
Yeah.
Good. It's nice. It shows that these rescue efforts are ready to move when something bad does happen.
That's why I'm always scared to go hiking. Especially, I don't know. I guess it's adventure, right? A lot of people go hiking alone, but when you're in like a foreign country and you're not quite sure, and then you go hiking alone without actually telling anyone, or I guess someone knew, otherwise they wouldn't be looking for you. But
yeah. I watch way too
risky business.
Yeah, I watch way too many of those documentaries where people go missing on hikes and stuff like that. So I'm definitely traumatized away from nature.
Don't hike. Note to self: just don't do it.
Just ignore nature. You're not the taxi drivers in the cities, the cliffs out there. You're not safe anywhere. Just kidding.
Yeah,
But,
all right.
Anyways.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move on to some stories around ASEAN now. Our next story takes us to Singapore as a food poisoning outbreak at the TikTok Singapore office. Now, we all know TikTok for viral videos, but another viral outbreak has happened. A food poisoning outbreak at ByteDance's TikTok office in Singapore resulted in nearly 60 people falling ill, with 57 hospitalized. 17 ambulances responded to the One Raffles Quay office after employees reported abdominal pain and vomiting. The affected individuals had consumed food from the same source. Now, ByteDance is cooperating with local authorities to investigate what really happened. A spokesperson emphasized the company's commitment to employee health and safety and noted immediate steps were taken to support those affected, including coordinating with emergency services.
Yeah.
What
happened? I want to know. I got to get to the bottom. Did they all eat the same thing?
Yeah, I guess it was like a canteen food poisoning issue. Yeah. Everybody had lunch at the same area.
Yeah. Don't eat the fish kind of thing. Like, pretty terrifying stuff when everybody's down with it all of a sudden at the same time. Imagine the rush for the bathroom.
Yeah.
No good. Anyways, hopefully they can have a full recovery and they can get to the bottom. What the hell happened? Ew. Yeah. Gross one.
All right.
Now, unfortunately for our last story, this is going to be raising a lot of weird emotions because it's a historical thing. Now, William Calley, who was the face of the My Lai Massacre, has died at 80 years old. William Calley, infamous for leading the My Lai Massacre during the Vietnam War, died in April at 80. On March 16, 1968, Calley's platoon killed 504 Vietnamese civilians at My Lai, sparking outrage and fueling the anti-war movement in the U.S. Initially sentenced to life in prison for 22 deaths, Calley was released after 3 days by President Nixon and spent just 3 years under house arrest before being paroled. In later life, he became a businessman in Georgia and largely avoided discussing My Lai, though he publicly apologized in 2009, expressing deep remorse for his actions. Not good enough, I would say. And,
definitely not good enough.
Good riddance, I could also say, honestly. This is like, it's disgusting to see, what happens in war at any time. But especially when you're entering a war with a supposed moral high ground, and this is what it is, the exact incident that caused America to turn anti-American. Like, so many protests erupted as a result of this. He was sentenced by the courts to 22 years to life. That's a more appropriate punishment. He only spent 3 days in jail.
Yeah, basically pardoned.
Insane, yeah, and essentially. And he also, it was 3 years of house arrest or whatever. His girlfriend was allowed to visit him the entire time. They had kids together. He got to live a long and happy life, man. So not a lot of justice there, and a cruel reminder of what happened during the Vietnam conflict, and another reminder for us to stay out of conflicts, man. War is terrible.
I don't think America can ever stay out of conflict.
I mean, there's a lot of countries in conflicts these days, and it's not unique to America. So it's something that all countries should serve as a reminder to all countries that these things are not good, man. There's better ways to solve our conflicts, I think.
Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. Those were some of the news topics from across Thailand and ASEAN.
You can always go to thetiger.com for some more updates throughout the day. We're constantly publishing.
Yeah.
And also,
or join the conversation at the ASEAN forum, ASEANnow.com. You can join in all of these topics, create your own thread, or even learn some visa information if you need. That's ASEANnow.com.